Bonsoir tout le monde. Good evening, everyone. Start off the meeting. Roll call. I'm assuming Madame Conseillère Simard is supposed to be here this evening. She'll probably show up very shortly. I'll ask everyone to stand for the prayer and the national anthem, please. Attendu que le Canada est fondé sur des principes qui reconnaissent la suprématie de Dieu et la primauté du droit, prenons un moment de réflexion personnelle. Whereas Canada is founded upon principles that recognize the supremacy of God and the rule of law, let us take a moment of personal reflection. Additions, deletions, or amendments, we have a few this evening. Under items 17, council member items. Item A, Councillor Saucier Terry Fox update. Item B, Councillor Saucier for the Heritage Festival. Item C, myself for AFMO. Item D, myself for Take Back the Night. And item E, Councillor Lorrain for Tim Hortons and Russell. Anything else to add? No. Need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Conseiller Brisson, seconded by Conseiller Lorrain. Motion to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried. Item 6, disclosure of pecuniary interest. I see none. Item 7, adoption of minutes. Regular council minutes of September 5th, 2017. Motion to approve the following minutes as presented. Moved by Councillor Saucier, seconded by Conseiller Lorrain. Questions, comments? All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried. Item 8, presentations, we have none. Item 10, delegations, we have none. Item 10, consent items. Motion that all items listed under consent items be received as presented. Item A, minutes of the Limoges Citizens Committee, June 13, 2017. Need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Conseiller Brisson, seconded by Conseiller Saucier. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried. Item 11, reports from departments and council committees. Item A, zoning bylaw and official plan amendment report PD 53, 2017. Properties along North Russell Road being 979, 975, and 951 North Russell Road, along with the vacant land around and adjacent to these properties legally described as being part of Lot 13, Concession 3, being Part 1 on Plan 50R-10366, Parts 1 and 2 on Plan 50R-1416, Parts 3 and 4 on Plan 50R-9211, Part 1 on Plan 50R A134, and Parts 1 and 2 on Plan 50R 9211. The Council received Report PD 53-2017 dated September 18, 2017, and the Council approved the zoning bylaw amendments and the official plan amendments submitted by Mélanie Construction for the subject properties for the following. 1. To amend the Township of Russell official plan designations of blocks 359, 360, 361, and 362 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3 from residential to commercial in order to permit commercial development. 2. To amend the zoning of part of Block 359 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3 from institutional zone withholding IH to general commercial, exception 5 withholding C5H in order to permit commercial development. Item 3. To amend the zoning of parts Block 359 and 360 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3 from general commercial, exception 3, C3 to general commercial, exception 5 withholding C5H in order to permit a broader range of commercial development. Item 4. To amend the zoning blocks 361 and 362 and part of Block 360 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3 from residential 1A withholding R1A-H to general commercial, exemption 5 withholding C5H in order to permit commercial development. Item 5. To amend the zoning of blocks 345, 346, 347, 348, 349, 350, 351, 352, 353, 354, 355, and 366, and part of blocks 344, 356, and 357 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3 from residential 1A withholding, R1A-H, to residential 3 withholding, R3-H, in order to permit construction of townhouse units. 6. To amend the zoning of blocks 343 and 358 and part of blocks 344, 356, and 357 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3 from institutional zone withholding IH to residential 3 withholding R3H in order to permit construction of townhouse units. 7. To amend the zoning of blocks 336, 337, 338, 339, 340, 341, and 342, and part of block 335 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3 from institutional zone withholding IH to residential 2 withholding R2H in order to permit construction of semi-detached dwelling units. Item 8. To amend the zoning of blocks 326, 327, 328, 329, 330, 331, 332, 333, 334, and 365, and part of block 335 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3, from residential 1A withholding R1A-H to residential 2 withholding R2H in order to permit construction of semi-detached dwelling units. 9. To amend the zoning of blocks 214, 215, 216, and 217, and part of blocks 218, 219, 220, and 221 on the draft plan of subdivision for part of Lot 13, Concession 3 from institutional zone withholding IH to residential 1 withholding R1A-H in order to permit construction of detached dwelling units. I think that wins the prize for the longest one I've ever had to read. Yes, I will have some. Questions, comments, members of council? Councillor Sosi.
I'm just wondering, can I pull that one out? Like there's part of that that I'm not in favor of?
To remove from the consent or from the resolution for all the...
11A, institutional to residential.
Okay, so remove 11A from the resolutions, okay?
And the other question I had was still, as concerns came up at the planning committee, we're still not sure of what the commercial properties will be, so lighting and some of those issues, and also I was just wondering when we're going to get a report from South Nation about the fish habitat.
Okay.
And I guess, and the one other thing was the design of the one entrance, which was a big concern of mine.
Monsieur Le Duc, Madame Tremblay.
Good evening. I just want to make sure when you refer to Section 8, because there's a few numbers that refer from the institutional zone, so is it all of the institutional zone that are changed that you are questioning? Or?
Well, it was number 2 that, because based on the fact that the land was sold for a long-term care facility, and I've had a lot of seniors that, have said they want to stay in their community, and we need somewhere where they can, and that was the contract in good faith that it would bring a long-term care facility to. So that was the one I had concerns with, just based on ethical reasons.
Madame Tremblay?
So just to clarify, because actually number 2 and number 6, number 7, number 8 refers to the institutional, so it's not just one number, so I don't know if we should remove all of the numbers that are referring to the institutional zone, or
We're removing
the
11A, the whole report.
Okay, sounds good. So the other question that were raised at the Planning Advisory Committee, so your first question, I believe, was about the South Nation Conservation Report. So this was submitted as part of the draft plan of subdivision, so it's being reviewed as well as the traffic impact study. So this is a condition to the draft plan of subdivision, so therefore we won't have the comments back until, I would say, a month. And that was just received at the beginning of September, so as soon as we have the report, we could for sure send you a copy of the comments that were responded by South Nation, and also the comments that were, I know that traffic was also a big issue that was raised, so I was in communication with Sylvain Boudreau from the counties. They are reviewing the traffic studies at the moment. So those comments will also be forwarded to our department to review and comment on it. And as well as a full report for the subdivision, it's coming at the PAC committee on September 28th, the next one. So you'll have a full report concerning sidewalks, pathways, park, all the concern regarding the actual subdivision will be presented at the PAC committee for a full report on our side on the last meeting of September.
Okay, well, I guess my concern was just approving it tonight, when I still had a lot of questions.
So through Mr. Mayor, so basically what we are looking at is actually just the zoning, so to allow the uses to be permitted as commercial or residential 3 or 2 on that property. So we're not looking at where the building are going to be located, or we don't know yet what type of commercial. As part of the report, there's a list of uses that will be permitted. However, once we have a project that is concrete on that property, then they will have to go through a full site plan, and therefore more study will be required at that time. So it's hard for us, but right now we feel, as you see in the report, that the commercial proposal and the higher density in the subdivision meets our official plan and the county official plan. So that's why the planning department is recommending the zoning amendments. But with regards to the location, parking, the entrances, and everything else will be controlled as part of the site plan.
Okay, so the second half then of my question is satisfied, but I still am opposed to it being zoned from institutional to residential.
Yeah.
D'autres questions? Madame Tremblay?
Yeah, just in regards of that, we, as the planning department, we were not aware of the condition of how the property were sold. So therefore, we do recognize that there's a need for that, but at the end of the day, it's the property owner of the property that decides what could be done. On the other side, we did have the discussion, and institutional uses are permitted in all land designation as part of the official plan, and that's how we promote those type of facilities, that it's easier. You don't need to go through an official plan amendment if you want to have a retirement home or a nursing home in the township of Russell.
So even though it would be zoned commercial, that would still be permitted in the commercial zone?
Yes, as part of the official plan. However, they would have to go through a zoning amendment, but no official plan would be required in any type of land designation if it would be institutional.
Conseiller Brisson?
Oui, juste une clarification un peu pour les lignes. C'est la map 3. Celle, je vais, comme le premier bloc, comme qu'est-ce qui est sur contre le chemin, la ligne, comme qu'elle continue pas droite jusqu'au fond, il y a un accro. C'est quoi cette chose-là? Comme que ça redescend par en bas. Tu sais, t'en as un petit îlot, commencé. Puis après ça, la deuxième ligne, au lieu de continuer tout droit, il y a un accro qui va par en bas. Pourquoi cette raison-là là, de pas continuer juste tout droit?
Donc, si vous voulez voir, nous, on se fie aux cartes de zonage qui étaient initialement sur la propriété pour démontrer les nouveaux zonages. Fait que sur la map 5, à la page 11, les zones ne sont pas cohérentes avec les dimensions des terrains. Fait que comme vous voyez, la zone institutionnelle en ce moment, c'est ça la petite partie que vous voyez qui était simplement l'entrée pour accéder à la zone institutionnelle. Fait qu'à la comme où il y a le I5 à la carte 5.
OK. Ah, OK.
Fait qu'en ce moment, vous pouvez voir les cartes comme la façon que le zonage est fait, c'est que le C3 il a été zoné pour des propriétés, mais les zones sont pas coïncident pas avec les propriétés, les lignes de propriété. Fait que nous, on a juste changé ça.
Ouais, c'est avec l'autre, la ligne, elle s'en va, puis quasiment au bout, il fallait qu'elle redescende un peu.
Mais c'est ça, c'est que la zone, elle avait été créée comme ça, le I, pour être capable d'avoir initialement une maison de retraite. Je ne sais pas si, comme le I avait été créé dans le milieu de rien, fait que c'était une zone de I. Fait que c'est comme ça en ce moment, on n'a pas changé rien.
Ben là, comme c'est là, si tu regardes le C3,
Oui.
la ligne est droite, tout ça, mais si tu remontes à la map, juste à 2 maps plus haut, tu regardes droite au bord, la ligne, elle s'en va, puis là, elle drop avant quelque chose au lieu de s'en aller droit.
OK, ben c'est le petit coin. Là,
Ouais, le petit coin qui descend par en bas.
OK, ben c'est juste, ça devrait aller jusqu'au bout, là.
Ouais. OK, ben c'est ça que là. Puis mon autre question qui était avec, pourquoi que le 1H, qu'il y a l'accro qui ne suit pas rien, comme ça, c'est-tu déjà déterminé, tu sais, comme c'est là, les deux du bas, pas les deux drettes en bas, mais ceux pour le zoning 1H to R3, ben il y a comme la ligne s'en va pas droite, ça fait rien que remonter, puis tout ça, là, c'est pourquoi?
Ben c'est ça, c'est la zone, elle avait été créée comme ça, basée sur le plan qui nous avait été donné dans le temps pour démontrer comment la maison de retraite aurait fait sur ce terrain-là.
OK, parce que la maison de retraite s'en allait à...
Où il y a le IH, où le terrain est une shape bizarre.
OK,
C'est
ça
là,
c'était comme pour l'entrée.
C'est ça.
OK, c'est pour ça que ça c'était une vieille zoning.
Oui, c'est pour ça qu'on le change de I à R, puis de I à R3, puis à R2.
Puis, si quelqu'un voudrait faire une maison de retraite, n'importe où, d'où c'est considéré résidentiel, il a le droit de mettre une maison pour une chose de retraite.
Oui, puis il faudrait juste qu'il fasse une demande de changement de zonage.
OK, c'est bon.
D'autres questions, commentaires? Quelque chose à ajouter, Mme Tremblay? Non? On va continuer. Item B, zoning bylaw amendment, report PD 55-2017, property owned by Peter Lynn Cumming and located on South Russell Road in Russell. The council received report PD 55-2017 dated September 18, 2017. That council approved the proposed zoning bylaw regarding the zoning amendments application submitted by Peter Lynn Cumming for the following property. 1, that the zoning of the property described as part of Lot 7, Concession 2, located on South Russell Road, be amended from General Agricultural Zone A2 to General Agricultural Zone Exception 80, A2-80, in order to 1, prohibit all residential uses on the parcel of land, and 2, to reduce the minimum lot area requirement from 40 hectares to 27 hectares. This amendment is a condition of severance application B 023-2017. Questions, comments, and members of council? Pretty standard stuff. Anything to add from the administration? No? Item C, Zoning bylaw amendment, removal of holding symbol and removal of 0.3 meter reserve. Report PD 61-2017. Property owned by Investissement Maurice Lemieux Investments, Inc., care of Maurice Lemieux and known as 95 Radisson Drive in Embrun. The council received report PD 61-2017 dated September 18, 2017, and approved the proposed bylaw regarding the zoning amendment application submitted by Investissement Maurice Lemieux Investments, Inc., care of Maurice Lemieux, to remove the holding symbol from the property at 95 Radisson Drive in Embrun, and that council adopts the bylaw dedicating as Public Highway Block 46 on plan of subdivision 50M-272, and that the bylaw be registered on title. These amendments are conditioned to severance application B082-2016. Questions, comments, and members of council? Anything to add from the administration? We will move on. Item D, pay list, August 2017. The council received the pay list for the month of August 2017. Questions, comments, members of council? Anything to add from the administration? No? Move on. Item E, Drainage Superintendent Report ISPW 13-2017. The council received report ISPW 13-2017 and approved the proposed bylaw to renew the contract with McDonald Technical Services Incorporated as the drainage superintendent. Questions, comments, members of council? Anything to add from the administration? No? We'll move on. Item F, Public Transit Infrastructure Fund, PTIF, and Invest Canada Program, Community Initiatives, ICCI, Report EcoDev 04-2017. The council received Report EcoDev 04-2017 dated September 18, 2017, and that approved the proposed bylaws to award a contract and to authorize the entry into an agreement with 1. Steer Davies Glebe for the preparation of the transit feasibility study in the amount of $59,945 plus $1,055.03, totaling $61,000.03. This amount includes the non-refundable municipal HST portion of 1.76%. 2. MDB Insight for the preparation of the Economic Development Strategic Plan in the amount of $28,520 plus $3,292, equaling $31,812. This amount includes the non-refundable municipal HST portion of 1.76%. Questions, comments, members of council? Anything to add from the administration? No? We will move on. Item G, removal of part lot control report PD 63-2017. Property owned by DevCore Construction and known as 174-180 Saint-Malo Place in Embrun. The council received report PD 63-2017 dated September 18, 2017, and the council adopts a bylaw to approve the proposed application for the removal of part lot control submitted by DevCore Construction for the parcel of land described as Block 118 on Plan 50M320, being parts 1 to 7 on Plan 50R10647, and known as 174-180 Saint-Malo Place in the village of Embrun. Questions, comments, members of council? Anything to add from the administration? No? We'll move on. Item 12. Notice of motions, Councillor Jamie Lorrain, rental and allocation policy.
So I have the motion here to give to the clerk. Yeah, that's fine. It's moved by myself and seconded by Conseiller Simard. And I'm going to ask council to suspend the rules of procedure so that we can debate and vote on this item this evening. I think the draft of the new policy was in the agenda package, so I think everyone had a chance to look at it. So I'm going to ask the mayor if we can do that, and then I can read that out of this.
Okay. So Councillor Lorrain is asking to have this discussion tonight, so therefore I'll ask if members of council are okay with suspending the rules of procedure. So it was on mover and seconder. So I need a mover and seconder, moved by Conseiller Lorrain, seconded by Conseiller Simard. All those in favor? All those opposed? It is approved. We have 3/4 majority, so 2/3. So I'll ask Councillor Laurent if you'd like to read the notice of motion.
Yep, I'll read the notice of motion, then I'll give a brief reasoning, and we'll move on. Right? So whereas the Department of Parks and Recreation recently brought to council an updated rental and allocation policy, and whereas council for the Township of Russell approved said policy at its June 19th regular meeting of council, and whereas following a meeting of priority user groups in July, some of the associations had some concerns for the changes that were made with the policy and reached out to Councillor Lauren. And whereas Councillor Lauren worked with the associations and with the administrations on an updated policy, taking into account the concerns of the administration as well as the priority users, now therefore be it resolved that the Council for the Township of Russell review and approve as drafted an updated rental and allocation policy as per the draft document. So at the meeting, I don't know if you remember, there were some questions that I had regarding this, and I voted in favor of, at the end of the day, I voted in favor of it, knowing that if there were any concerns, that the associations would reach out. They did. I contacted the administration, Monsieur Leduc, Madame Guital. We worked, I think, long and hard on it, and I think that we've come to a new draft, and I think it satisfies some of the concerns that were brought up from the associations while still protecting the township. So I ask that we go ahead and approve it as drafted. If there are any questions, I could answer the staff can answer as well.
Thank you very much, Councillor Laurent. Y a-t-il des questions, commentaires, membres? Okay. I do have one question in regards to minor item section 2.2, minor sports and adult sports users. It makes reference that for adult sports users in Junior B, full payment must be made prior to October 10th for the period from September to December inclusively, and prior to February 10th for a period of January to April inclusively. No exceptions to these timeframes will be entertained. I guess my question is, do we have a clause somewhere, if they are late, what is the penalty for the fact that they are late?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that was added when we drafted it, and I'll let Madame Guital speak to it. It is further down in the document.
Okay. Monsieur Leduc, Madame Guital?
Yes, we did add for both minor and adults that the payment needs to be done by the due date. If it's not done by the due date, we will definitely be in contact with them. And at one point, if they do not pay, they could lose their ice time, and the next year they could lose the priority of their ice time, which is really important for most of all these groups. It is a concern of the administration at one point that the payments be made in time. We've had some issues in the last few years, so that's why we made it clear on this policy to establish a more firm rule, I think, for payment to be made on time. We are allowing them a little bit of time to collect their money. We understand that those are all volunteers, and so we allowed them some time. For minor sports, we're even more flexible because we allow them to pay by month, because we understand at one point some of those associations were diligent and they were making some investments. So this was allowing them to collect a little bit more money, but at the end of the day, the payment should be made on time.
And I think we went further than that in the draft policy. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have it right in front of me. It's right here, but. I believe that we gave them we outlined a 30-day notice period, that if they don't pay within 30 days, that they could be responsible for additional fees, late fees and whatnot. And at 60 days, if they still haven't paid, then they risk losing any additional ice going forward. So there is definitely some teeth to it, whereas we didn't have really anything before. And you'll notice that Junior B is set out under minor sports for everything except for the payment structure, and that was spoken with Monsieur Lemire as well to ensure, because that's the way he normally pays it, or he has been paying it, is twice a year. And so that's why under that section, you see adult users and junior B for the 2 times payments, and all the other minor associations are on a monthly. So,
Okay, thank you. I was looking for the financial penalty as to, you know, they risk perhaps losing some time or this or that, but what's the financial part of being late? And I guess maybe that's what I'm looking for. I understanding there's leeway there, but you know, there might be a little bit more teeth to it if they know that if they're late, they're going to pay for it.
And
Monsieur Leduc?
Mr. Mayor, Conseil, bonsoir. So I think that that's referencing to section 2.2C. Maybe to your point, Mr. Mayor and Council, that we could duplicate the last sentence of section C, any payment received after 30 days. You could read it only applies for minor sports in section C. It should be also copied maybe in section B, so that it covers both circumstances, for one thing. Also, late fee payment or admin reserves fees, we probably would have those penalties in the user fee bylaw, where we would add a section about if you're not paying your ICE time on time, you're subject to this admin fee. So probably we'll be adding something to the user fee bylaw for that particular element of the policy.
Conseiller Simon?
Yes, for that last part that Mr. Leduc referred to, I think it would be better to put it in the user fees because that's more tangible than just reopening this bylaw for when there's a number associated to it. So we don't have to amend this one; it'll be included in the user fee section.
Okay. So this will be coming back when we have discussions on user fees.
If that's your direction, we'll do that.
I think if everybody's okay, well, at least having the discussion when user
Yeah,
fees
to present
come.
you something for discussion, yes.
Good.
yeah, I think we need to add, like you said, that one sentence under the 2B. So that would, we'll put that in the, in this, when we do it as an amendment. So add that, and then at the end, also add, for late fees, please refer to user fee bylaw. And that'll come at a later date. Perfect, so I'll make those amendment requests.
D'autres questions, commentaires? Anything else to add from the administration? Monsieur Leduc?
So, Madame Conseil, well, I think it's been something that's been an issue for us for many years. I'm glad we're finally addressing the real issues, and either for our side and for the association side too. So I'm happy we came up with this revised policy, and hoping this will meet everybody's expectation.
Thank you very much. Conseiller Simon?
Well, I just wanted to thank Councillor Lavin for bringing this forward, just because I know he has the contact with the stakeholders, so that's important, and so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Merci. D'autres questions?
Nope, I'm gonna ask for, we have the time we're gonna vote on this?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask for an amendment to add the last sentence from the 2C, 2.2C, to be added to 2.2B. So add that last sentence.
So you're not referring to number 2.2?
Well,
2.2C.
2.2C.
Okay, I think we're not at the
Page 10.
And next.
Okay, so that's where we need to go first. So is it in Appendix C?
There,
you're referring
right
to?
there. Yeah, it's in a.
Appendix
Page
A.
2.
Page 2.
So just copy the last line of 2C, any payment received after blah, 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 will be copied under 2.
Will be copied into 2B.
Right.
And then there will be one more sentence at the end of 2B and 2C that should read, please refer to user fee bylaw for late payment penalty.
Okay, I got the last part, but can you repeat the first
Absolutely.
part? So it refers to A2, and then what's the amendment?
Yeah, so the first amendment is to take the last sentence from C and add it to B.
So that's in 2.2C.
Yeah.
So take last
où ça commence any payment.
In
Yeah,
Pour les pa-
2.2C, okay,
and add it to the end of 2.2B,
2.2B,
so they both have the same verbiage for late payment.
okay,
Okay, and then the second piece to that was, now at the end of both of those, after they've been added, put in, please refer to user fee bylaw for late payment charges. Or for late payment schedule, or whatever you want, however you want to put it.
Correct avec ça, Monsieur Leduc, Madame qui parle?
Late fee payment,
Late fee payment.
Late fee payment.
What did I say?
late payment fee, but
Okay.
the way it's written here, it's called late fee.
Late fee payment.
No problem.
I think everybody understands.
And I will move the amendments.
So moved by Councillor Larin, seconded by Conseiller Brisson. All those in favor of the amendment? All those opposed? The amendment is carried. So now there will be a motion to approve as amended. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried. Thank you very much, Conseiller Larin.
Thank you very much, council, and the administration for all your hard work.
We will move on to item 13, question period on meeting of the day.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Charles Armstrong, 85 Castle Bow in Amber. Just a few quick questions. One, from the pay list on page 9, and you don't have to really refer to this, I'm just questioning, do we maintain a railway or a railway crossing or whatever? So that's south of Rustland Road
Yes.
on the other side? Okay, now I understand that. The next is reference the official plan amendment and the related zoning amendments. What happens if by chance the official plan amendment is not approved at the United Counties? As I understand, official plan amendments have to be, our official plan amendments have to be approved at the counties level. What happens if it's, by chance, if it's not there? Because there's nothing in the zoning bylaw that says subject to the approval of the official plan amendment at the county's level.
Merci, Monsieur Armstrong. Madame Tremblay?
So my initial response to that is that before we do an official plan amendment, we discuss this with the county, and at this point it would be political because we have the support of the staff for making the official plan amendment. Second answer, that we would just have to repeal the zoning bylaw.
Okay, fine. The last question, the policy that Councilor Laurent just moved and was approved, is that a bylaw or is that just a policy of best practices?
Monsieur Leduc, Madame Vital?
There's a bylaw attached to the policy.
It will be Monsieur Leduc?
Some policies are strictly administrative, which don't come to council, and some bylaws are, as with municipal act approved, have to be approved by council, so therefore there's a bylaw making a motion or notion that this policy is now adopted. So this one is adopted with a bylaw,
Okay, so there will be a bylaw coming up.
in the bylaw section.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Item 14, motion that council approve all recommendations listed on the agenda under number 11, reports from departments and council committees, except for item 11A. So I need a mover and a seconder.
Sure. So do we have to add a bylaw then as well? Pardon me?
Not tonight, but there will be one added at the next.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sorry.
Motion that council approve all recommendations listed on the agenda under number 11 for reports and reports from departments and council committees, except for item 11A.
Can we have just the main motion and then the amendment that we have?
Okay, so if comes up, okay. So we'll do an amendment to remove item 11A. So motion as presented, need a mover and a seconder, put it on the table. Moved by Conseiller Lorrain, seconded by Conseiller Brisson. And now an amendment to remove item 11A, which is the item Councillor Saucier requested to be removed from the vote. So moved by Councillor Saucier, seconded by Councillor Small. All those approval to remove that item? Okay, so now we will vote on all items except 11A. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried. Now we will vote on 11A separately, which was, you guys remember which one it is?
Yeah.
Because I could read it again, but.
Oh, please.
No.
Councillor
I
Saucier.
have a question. Can I have a recorded vote on that?
Yes, but first
Yeah.
we'll have to put that
Okay.
item on the table first. So I need a move.
the discussion.
Yes, I need a mover and a seconder to put it on the table. So moved by Councillor Saucier, second by Conseiller Small. Questions, comments? Conseiller Lorrain?
I'll make a comment on it. And the comment is that although I'm not pleased with what is going on with the zoning change, and that it's unfortunate that the request of the original seller of her land is not being fulfilled. Unfortunately, I understand why you're asking for it to be, turned down, and keep it as institutional. At the end of the day, our planner and planning department feel that it's from a planning act perspective and policy, official plan, zoning, and everything together, it makes sense. I have no basis in planning to reject it, and it's unfortunate that somebody's word didn't get maintained here. But I'll make the statement that I will support the request. But I do feel for the family that has sold that land, and that there should have been more consideration taken for it. So.
Thank you very much. D'autres questions, commentaires? Councillor Small?
Just wanted to echo Councillor Lorrain's comments, because I have heard also about the situation, but I think that was between the two parties, and it follows the planning principles, and so there may be recourse legally if they did have conditions on the sale of land, but I don't think we're in the position to reject this proposal, so it's unfortunate.
Thank you very much. Therefore, it is now, any other questions or comments? No? Anything to add from the administration? No? We have a mover and seconder to put it on the table. It's been discussed. Councillor Saucier has asked for a recorded vote, so I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? And it passes. We will move on to item 15. Bylaws, motion that council approve bylaws 2017-079 to 2017-087 inclusively for first, second, and third reading as listed on the agenda. Need a mover and seconder to put it on the table. Moved by Conseiller Brisson, seconded by Conseiller Small. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried. Item 16, new business reports, we have none. Item 17, A, Terry Fox update, Councillor Saucier.
This is more positive. So I just wanted to thank the community, Russell Nembrum, for a very successful event yesterday, and thank Councillors Lorrain and Mayor Pierre Leroux for coming out to the event. The numbers are a guesstimate because a lot of people didn't fill out on their form, like if there were a family, there could be 4 of them or whatever, so I had to estimate how many. So with just estimating, I figure most people weren't walking alone, so I put 2, but there could have been a lot more. So we had 180 participants. I also have to put a shout out to Russell Scotiabank. They matched funds, so ended up with $5,000 donation from Scotiabank. L'Expérience also have been so enthusiastic, that store. They even had running shoes hanging outside the store yesterday, and they had it all decorated with terry. The thing that sort of surprised me was Monique had said that some of the staff didn't know who he was. So this is a good education for younger people, and they did a scavenger hunt along the trail, and they had clues and questions about Terry. So they had to answer the questions before they could go on. So they were really team spirit, and they had a donation jar on their counter and raised $321.40. So in total, we raised Russell Embrum, thank you, together, united, $13,862.40. So it was a very successful event. So thank you, everyone, and thank this wonderful community.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, and if I could
Just say, unfortunately, our fire departments aren't here tonight, but I have to thank them for making sure everybody got across safely. And bylaw came out, and also we had paramedics in case, and we did have 1 injury. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Associé, for your dedication to this event year after year. It's very much appreciated. Councillor Simon?
I just had an item to add, just an announcement for business.
OK, on va ajouter plusieurs items, on va passer à
Ah,
travers
ok,
ceux-là.
oui, désolée, c'est parce que j'étais pas là au début, j'ai pas vu qu'est-ce qu'on a ajouté, c'est pas dans l'ordre.
OK.
Merci. C'est
Item-
Journée des Franco-Ontariens.
Item B, Heritage Festival, Councillor Associé.
Okay, I just wanted to remind everyone that this Saturday, September 23rd, from 10 to 3, the Russell and District Historical Society is hosting Heritage Day. So there'll be horse-drawn tours of the village between 11 and 3. We're having a walk through the Burton Conservation Area with Owen Clarkin. He's a tree expert, and he will be identifying all the different species in the park. They're having a guest speaker about the story of air travel, Doug Laureline, and hit the history of the New York Central Railway by Don McCaffrey. So a lot of events going on. They'll have the restored fire truck on display, and so we're hoping people will drop by and see the museum, and we'll have music outside, and so it should be a fun day, weather permitting. Thank you. Hopefully we're as lucky as we've been last week.
Hopefully the sun can stay out a little bit longer. Thank you very much. Item C, myself, AFMO, l'Association francophone des municipalités d'Ontario. Il y a excusez, qui se passe à Saint-Isidore, débutant à soir jusqu'à jeudi. Il va y avoir plusieurs sessions pour les employés municipaux puis les conseils municipaux. Je pense qu'il y a probablement des conseils qui viennent de l'autre bout de l'Ontario pour participer. Puis ça devrait être une bonne chance pour le monde de jaser puis des échanges d'idées. Item D, myself, for Take Back the Night. This week on Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. is the annual Take Back the Night event where people take a stand against sexual violence, walk with us to end violence towards women. So this will be in Castleman. They'll be departing at 7 p.m. at the Complexe J.R. Brisson on Brebeuf Street in Castleman for anybody who's interested in joining. Item E, Councillor Lorrain for the Tim Hortons in Russell.
Yep, thank you very much. So, for those that don't know already, this past Saturday morning, opened the Tim Hortons in Russell on Broadway, just in front of the Old Town West. But their official grand opening is this coming Saturday, the 23rd, at 11 a.m. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 11 to 2. But the owners, I had the privilege of speaking to them, Shelley and Howie White, if I'm not mistaken. Fantastic a couple. They had a vision of bringing the Timmies to this region, and we were so lucky to they have chosen Russell to be their location, and that it's finally built. Was in there the other day. It looks fantastic. More employment for our youth. From my understanding, they're going to have a band on the patio if it's nice. They're going to have items out for people and stuff. So it's going to be a really good time. So if you have a few minutes and need your coffee fixed, feel free to stop by and enjoy the grand opening.
Thank you very much, Conseiller Larin.
If I could just add one thing, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Not another event, but I just wanted to touch back on the Heritage Festival as well, and just to remind everyone here and everyone who may listen to this at a later date, is that the Heritage Festival is an event that the township supports through our community grants program year over year. So it is something very special and something that this council has supported and administration has helped with over the years. So it's a great day, it's a great cause. I sat on that committee for quite many years, and I look forward to hopefully being able to make it out on Saturday with all the other stuff going on. So I just wanted to make sure that we acknowledge the fact that this council supports that as well.
Thank you very much. Item F, Conseillère Simard, Journée franco-ontarienne.
Oui, alors un peu en lien avec la FMO, on a la journée des Franco-Ontariens le 25 septembre. Alors il y a des cérémonies un peu partout dans la région, ici dans la municipalité, mais on a aussi à côté de la Caisse populaire l'initiative communautaire du Monument de la francophonie. À 11h30, il va y avoir une levée du drapeau, une petite cérémonie pour lancer le projet. Alors, je pense qu'ici, dans la municipalité, on a l'une des plus fortes concentrations de Franco-Ontariens dans la province. Alors, c'est une fierté. Puis c'est rendez-vous à 1h30 à côté de la Caisse populaire en Brun. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Move on. Item 18, public meetings and hearings, we have none. Item 19, closed session, we have none. Item 20, confirming bylaw. That bylaw 2017-088 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of Council of the Corporation of the Township of Russell at its regular council meeting held on September 18, 2017, be read a first, second, and third time and passed. Need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Conseiller Larin, seconded by Conseillère Simard. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried. Our next meeting of council, next regular public meeting of council will be held on Monday, October 2nd, 2017. And we are now adjourned at 6:52 p.m. Thank you very much, everyone.
Madame Julie, tu ramènes le bylaw pour